What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy. I'm joined by the usual crew. How many times do I have to say it? Brian DeGennaro, Paraskevas Xenophontos, and Brandon Kramer. And we're rocking a little different mustache today. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Fantastic.
Are you sure you're my boss? You look mad different, bro.
Yeah, I mean, mustache could change people for better or for worse. But today is July 1st. The day
Bobby
we're
Bonilla
recording.
Day.
Bobby Bonilla Day. And not only is it Bobby Bonilla Day, but it is the first day players are reporting to spring training part 2. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but Glaber and Gio were walking into the stadium with masks today.
Mm-hmm.
With that, also news came out that there is no minor league season. Now, that's really the main focus that I want to touch on today because it's kind of sucky, particularly if you're looking at like these careers of players who need reps, who aren't going to be able to get a full season of work in, just like how we were talking with, I think he's in Double-A, Sean Semple, a few months back, and he was like, if there's no season this year, like there's no way I'm going to be able to like max my innings out, and I'm just not going to be able to get the pitches in to get work in. So what do you guys think about that situation?
It's bad, honestly, because the minor leagues, people just think, yeah, it's just for the prospects and everything. But a lot of these guys, their kind of career depends season by season. And who knows how many players right now, their careers are done because there's no baseball.
Going with the HIPAA laws, you can't really say when the player has it. So if whether they have an injury or not, if they're out 2 or 3 weeks and all of a sudden they come back, you're kind of going to get the idea that they did have COVID. He's going to have players in Scranton. It'll be interesting to see. So if somebody gets down with an injury or COVID-19, the taxi squad's going to come up. So if an outfielder gets hurt, Clint Frazier's going to be on his way up. They're not going to be.
I truly think.
Yeah, Brandon, why don't you explain the taxi
So just
squad
pretty
a
much
little
think
bit
of what
there?
happened with Nestor Cortez last year. He kept getting sent down and called up. It's pretty much just a bunch. It's the group of players that if someone goes down, they'll be first to report up. But back to the point you made about Frazier, I fully expect him to actually be on the team because we heard the news with Stanton how Cashman is pretty sure he'll be ready as a DH, but not as a outfielder.
Oh, good. So we'll have Clint out there.
Yes.
I love Clint. I don't know about you guys, but I love him.
I love him too, but not in the outfield.
But hey, if we're talking about the outfield, Aaron Hicks is going to be one of the first players ever to not miss a single game from Tommy John.
Wait, I have a solid question.
Yeah.
Is it a 30-man roster?
I think it's starting as a 30-man.
I believe there's going to be 60 players at summer camp until the season starts, and then 30 of those players are going to make that final roster.
So, Brandon, let me ask you a question since you are the authority on everything. How does things work as far as options? Like, do we have to worry about player options this year at all?
That's a good – well, I don't think we need to because you're just going to, like, set your roster, but you're not, like,
so there's no
them to
going between minor league and major league, right? So it's just basically one big roster.
I think it would just be one kind of huge roster, and you have your main – I'm actually trying to figure it out right now, but you have your main kind of 30-man. I think it gets smaller as the season goes on, but you're just going to have a group of players, pretty much like the guys that would be called up. So you would assume if Estrada is not on the team, he'll be there as like if an infielder goes down, he'll be coming up. Frazier, of course, if he's not on the starting team, and just fully expect the bullpen to be used a lot. So Davy Garcia will be up, I believe. Clark Schmidt will be up. Expect guys like that to
I love Davy
be
Garcia.
brought up because you're not going to be able to stretch the pitchers out. You have to still go slow because you're not going to expect Garrett Cole, even though he's been throwing all.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even, I understand, like, Para's, like, the beacon of negativity with this whole thing, saying, like, oh, we don't even know if we're going to get a season. No. I'm, like, so excited. Yeah, but everyone's like, we might even get a season.
It's not going to happen, but go on.
All right. But, like, let's just think about if there is a full season this year, not only is it going to be, like, every game actually means something because the season is so damn short and because they're playing mostly division rivals, but we're going to get to see such bright, young, hungry faces. Imagine, like, we could see Davy Garcia, like, in crucial games in crucial innings. Meanwhile, if there was a full regular season this year, he might not even came up at all. So like now you're putting also Clint Frazier. He had no space on this team if there was no Corona this year.
I got the actual play.
You know what else? You know what else is really cool? We're gonna get to see Gleyber Torres, Ronald Acuna, who's the other guy? Juan Soto. All these guys that play against each other constantly. The future of baseball.
Fun. I'm excited. Like,
awesome.
how could you not be excited?
I am excited, but I just have a couple of questions. I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer here, but what happens if
You're always a Debbie Downer.
a ball gets like honestly, I'm excited for baseball, but there's still some things I want to know. Like this has been the main question on ESPN radio today. What happens if a player initiates a brawl and there's contact in that brawl? What happens to that player? Does he get suspended for the rest of the season?
Corona.
Well, no,
honestly, what happens?
I
to
saw
the player?
stuff on that. It'll be big fines and possible suspensions if you like initiate anything. But if we're going to talk about rules, there's one rule that could be exploited. You hear the pitcher rule?
No.
So they don't want them licking their fingers. So they're going to give them a wet rag. They're allowed a wet rag in their back pocket.
No way.
You know what's going to happen. What movie was it? Oh, I got to remember. I want to
the
say
pitchers are going to have a wet rag in their back pocket.
Something. I want to say it was like Angels in the Outfield, that video where that guy, at least all over his body, he's got like Vagisil, Vaseline, everything. You can fully expect someone to be using it. Something like that. It was really funny. Literally, that's what he said in the movie.
So when it comes up to the dugout and the bullpen, are players going to be separated? Or is it like some players going to be sitting in the stands?
No, I don't think they'll be in the stands because
there's no way.
But I know when the Yankees right now, when they're training in New York, there's going to be some of the players will be in the visitors dugout, home dugout, blah, blah, blah. But I think when games start, it's going to be interesting. But, like, let's say this. What if a player gets injured? Is Stevie Donnie – oh, he's actually not part of the team anymore. Never mind. Whoever the hell our athletic trainer is he be able to go out and start what the fuck are you doing?
What?
See, Pat's so excited for baseball season. And considering he was in quarantine for 3 months, Pat is officially ready for baseball as a New York Yankee fan. He's honestly shaving the beard. I mean,
just shave half of it for now. We'll take care of the other half.
Yeah. We'll do half for now.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go on.
This is actually a cool look for you. I like it. Looks. Yeah, it can't get worse than it was. So.
Nah, right. I think this is like I could start like a fashion trend now, like half and half. Like it's not completely shaved down, but like
it's perfect for unhinged clothing.
If you did half and half, you should shave one half of your hair too.
Yeah,
on my eyebrows.
Frazier.
So let's say you got to pick between 4. There's Andujar, Talkman, Gardner, Frazier. Gardner's my 4th choice.
Okay, but I think Talkman's my number 1 there. If he can hit anywhere near what he hit last year, like I feel like
I don't think he will though.
Fluke.
Yeah.
No, I think last year was a fluke, but I feel like if he could hit somewhere near that, like if he could just be decent offensively, he's such an asset to have.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's awesome on defense as well.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the best defensive outfielder I think, other than Judge, that we have. Maybe Hicks too, but he's one of the top defensive outfielders that we have. So if he can just be decent offensively, I mean, he's great.
He recorded I want to say it was 17 defensive runs saved in I don't know how many like 2 months. And while I don't know how you calculate that, but he's got a great speed. He's got a great arm. I mean, the one thing, he's still shaving. With Frazier, I mean, Frazier has a good arm. Just once he gets comfortable in the outfield, he'll be fine. But at the end of the day, I'll take, in a way, mediocre defense for a guy that has the potential to hit 30 to 40 home runs a season.
I just have a quick question. When Talkman robbed that home run, who was it against? Was it against Oakland or Minnesota?
Baltimore.
That was the hit.
Maben robbed one against Minnesota.
I think he robbed a few, so.
Yeah, I was at the game that Maben robbed. That was a fun game. I miss Cameron Maben.
Here's a good question for you guys.
Awesome.
Do you think Gio, even if it's 60 games, do you think Gio Urshela is going to live up to the hype he had last year, or do you think he was a fluke as well?
I mean, I think how well he was hitting in terms of almost 320. I do think, though, he found something because I watched tape back on him. He was using his legs more, so that does generate power. But Brett Gardner almost hit 30 home runs. So
yeah, but that was everybody
Torres
last
hit
year.
38.
Yeah.
He's not a power hitter.
No, Torres is a 25, 30 home run hitter. But, I mean, I do think Urshela found something. Do I expect him to hit over 300 again? No, but if he can give us 260 to 280 with the on base of over 320 with the
With that
defense he
glove.
provided, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, that's what I was saying for Talkman too. If he could provide similar numbers, given the defense that he provides, that's a starter guy for us.
And I actually found out the stuff about the pool. So the 60 man roster the Yankees submitted, I think it was a couple days ago. All of those players are eligible to play in this season.
Oh, really?
Yes, it says here. It says, all 30 teams are required to submit their 60-man pool. That is a group of players who will be able to play for them this season. So the guys that are not on the roster will be training in Scranton. And if anything happens, so you honestly could see, and I don't know if you'd be able to manipulate it.
Even though that's the case, though, I think there's still going to be a bunch of roster battles during this spring
100%.
camp. Between the pitchers and Clint and Andujar, I think some of these guys that I'm naming already have like a guaranteed spot on the opening day roster, but there are positional battles that are going to be interesting to watch.
There's also one thing with pitchers. I saw while Cole has been throwing a lot, they're going to be very diligent with them in the season. You don't want to stretch them out too quickly because at the end of the day, when the Yankees, I'm going to say when because as long as they play well, they'll make it to the playoffs. That's when it becomes normal, barring so we need to just make sure everyone's healthy.
I agree.
With the rule of actually runner on second, they need to bring back Terrence Gore.
Yeah, really. But honestly, with all the assets they have in the bullpen, especially with the young guys that are coming up like Davy Garcia, Clark Schmidt, there's no need to stretch guys out in the beginning.
Exactly.
You can bring in the bullpen. There's so many good arms in the bullpen.
You can tax the bullpen right now and not have to worry. But also, I think with Davy Garcia, it's actually a good point. This is going to be a huge tryout for him because I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't see his stuff playing out as a starter. I kind of see him as like a Chad Green. I honestly see Jonathan Loaizaga being more of a starter,
but
although Jonathan Loaizaga is going to be the next Chad Green. But Davy
that's
Garcia
like the definition. That's like the definition of Yankee pitching prospects. It just seems like none of them are ever good enough to make it as a starter, and they end up moving them in the bullpen. They even tried to move Severino to the bullpen. Like at what point?
But they didn't.
Well,
but they did.
They
for
did for
a
bit.
Good while, and then he had to prove himself in spring and dominate.
Well, that
back in 2015 and 2016, Severino went into the bullpen. He struggled his first game, but found a rhythm. And then that's when in 2017 they brought him into the rotation, and he had that first half Cy Young.
Yeah, so you got to give these guys chances before you're just like, oh, they're just a bullpen arm.
Well, a lot of the things with the guys that we have now is they'll have the electric stuff, but none of them can have any control. But also, pitching prospects are hard to hit on. They take a lot longer to develop.
Especially for the Yankees.
Well, yeah, no, the last one that they developed, honestly, you could say it's Severino, but
Montgomery too, right? Or did they trade?
Yeah,
he's
Montgomery's lefties. The Yankees have been good at getting lefties. But at the end of the day, with the Yankees, it's always been their bullpen.
Well, I think that's all we have to talk about for tonight. We kind of bounced around a lot today, primarily because there's no major news for us to talk about. We talked about spring training coming back, talked about Stevie Donahue, talked about COVID, gave you a little bit of everything. We even gave you a little shaving. So
our episode tonight was the equivalent to Edwin Jackson's career.
That's exactly what it is. Tonight's episode equals Edwin Jackson. So on that note, we will see you guys next time, and have a good night.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.